Today, we're diving into the incredible, scientifically proven link between physical exercise and the health of your brain. And believe me, this connection is way more powerful than you might think. So why does this matter so much? Well, let's kick things off with a number that's kind of hard to ignore. The World Health Organization tells us that over 55 million people around the globe are living with dementia. That's not just some abstract statistic, right? It's a huge global health issue, and it gets you thinking. What if the absolute best defense we have for our brains isn't something you can get in a bottle from a pharmacy, but something you can get from a good workout? It's a really simple idea, but the implications are massive, and that's exactly what we're going to unpack. Okay, so to really feel the impact of this, we've got to understand what we're up against. These neurodegenerative diseases, well, they're a growing threat for millions and millions of people. The numbers here are frankly alarming. Get this, the rate of Parkinson's has actually doubled in just 25 years. And back in 2016, neurological conditions were responsible for over 9 million deaths. These figures all point to the same scary trend. The very things that are supposed to protect our brains are on the decline. So, what if we could actually get that protection back? It turns out our bodies have their own secret weapon, a protein that's basically miracle grow for our brain cells. It's time to meet the real hero of our story. It's called Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor. Yeah, I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, so let's just call it BDNF. Its job, though, is super simple and super important. It's a protein that is absolutely vital for keeping our brain cells alive, healthy, and even helping them regenerate. Honestly, the best way to think about BDNF is just like fertilizer for your brain. It creates this rich, nourishing environment where your neurons don't just hang on for dear life, they actually grow and thrive. So how exactly does this fertilizer do its thing? Well, it's got a three-part plan. First up, survival. It keeps the brain cells you already have in tip-top shape. Second, plasticity. This is huge. It helps them form new and stronger connections, which is literally the basis for all learning and memory. And third, growth. It actually encourages the creation of brand new neurons. How cool is that? And look, this isn't just a nice theory. There's a direct, scientifically proven link. When your BDNF levels go down, your brain health goes down with it. It's especially bad for the hippocampus, which is like the command center for your memory. Okay, so if having low BDNF is the problem, what's the solution? How do we get more of it? Well, it turns out we all have a built-in on switch that can crank up production of this amazing protein. And that on switch is exercise. The relationship is crystal clear. When you're just sitting around, your BDNF levels are pretty low. Do some moderate exercise, like a brisk walk, and you get a nice little boost. But, and this is the key, you go for high-intensity exercise, your BDNF production goes through the roof. It's really that simple. The harder you push, the more fertilizer you're spreading on your brain. Now, there is a little genetic twist to all this. A really common variation in one of our genes can affect just how much BDNF your body releases when you exercise. So yeah, some people get a slightly bigger bang for their buck, genetically speaking. But here is the most important part. This is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. No matter what your genes look like, any physical activity is going to give your brain a powerful protective boost of exactly what it needs to thrive. It's a win-win for everyone. So we know exercise makes more BDNF. But so what? How does that actually help us in the real world? Let's start with depression, one of the most common mental health challenges out there. The connection here is just remarkable. We often see that people dealing with depression have lower levels of BDNF. But you know what's wild? Many antidepressant medications work, in part, by increasing BDNF, which is the exact same thing exercise does. So in a very real way, a good workout can act like a natural antidepressant. All right, let's pivot to a major neurodegenerative disease, Parkinson's. This is where the protective power of that brain fertilizer, our friend BDNF, becomes incredibly important. Parkinson's is driven by the death of special neurons that produce dopamine, and sure enough, patients often have lower BDNF levels. But exercise can actually be neuroprotective. By boosting BDNF, it helps shield those crucial neurons, and it might even slow down the disease. And finally, let's talk about the big one, the most common type of dementia, Alzheimer's. And you know what? The research here offers a really powerful message of hope. We know that being sedentary is a risk factor, but exercise is a powerful defense. One amazing study found that just regular walking, we're not talking marathons here, actually increased the size of the hippocampus by 2% in older adults. Think about that. That is a physical, measurable change in the brain's memory center, all from exercise, actively pushing back against the effects of Alzheimer's. So when you put all of these pieces together, it leads to a pretty undeniable conclusion about the future of your own brain health. So let's just boil it down. Takeaway number 1, the threat to our brains is real and growing. Number 2, we have this amazing built-in defense system powered by that miracle grow protein, BDNF. And number 3, exercise is the key. It's the most effective, accessible tool we have to unlock that whole system and build a stronger, more resilient brain. And that really is the ultimate takeaway here. The next time you put on your running shoes, remember, you're not just doing it for your body. You're making a direct investment in your mind. You are literally fertilizing your neurons. So the only question left is, what are you going to choose to build today?